You're listening to Eat, Play, Sex with Dr. Kat, the place to up-level that sexy life of yours, with expert talk on sex, love, and nutrition.
And my mom is, working through those things. It's been interesting. And then I'm even learning non-binary Espanol because I'm out here in Mexico.
Wow.
It's changing. Instead of bonita or bonito, right? Would be feminine.
Yes.
And then it's even ingrained in the language.
Yeah.
Bonite.
Oh,
bonite.
wow. Okay.
My partner is so sweet. And he's like, yeah, bonite. Tú eres muy bonite. And I'm like,
oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I'd even seen in some of the, references to like Latinx,
yes.
as a reference to an inclusion around not just the binary, but
Exactly.
the spectrum of that. Yeah. And so even the way that you speak to somebody who may misidentify you or misuse the terminology, there's still a lot of compassion I hear in your voice. There's still a lot of like empathy and connecting with their journey and understanding that they're just at a different point in their understanding and comprehension, which I think is a beautiful and important quality to hold as we are changing the collective ideology around it. I mean, yes, it's only been a few years that we've seen pronouns on people's social media. Like it's only been probably even like just 2 years, really, but
Yeah.
it's so we're still at the beginning of this, even if it's been here for a lifetime. But giving the empathy and the curiosity there. For somebody who does make that mistake, now how can they move forward in a repair, or how can they respond, or hold that mistake, or
Yeah, I would say, well, one, I don't believe in mistakes. So it's all just, again, us trying to understand each other better. So I think if it's coming from such a pure place, right? I know the energetics. I can tell when I'm getting, haters online that are just trying to just poke at me. And it's just, again, it's me poking at me to trigger, different things. So I kind of have let go of all that. But I would say, yeah, if you're wanting to make people feel very supported, to individuals in your life, that question alone, how can you feel most supported? Hey, like when you do say things, I know that this is a learning curve for all of us. Would you mind just being, and I've done this, not only with my current partner, but with, family, friends, and it's a process. It's a process, not my entire family. There's like a large set of my family that totally gets it. Totally fine. My nuclear family, like my immediate family, very different, because they've known this one archetype the whole time. So it's rocking the boat a bit. And I smile and I just go, okay, it's a part of my own process too. But I would say, yeah, just Grace, what happened to Grace, and I think just coming from a place of recognizing, we're in this massive shift, and it's exciting, and it's going to take, just walking together and just committing to like try and make people feel really comfortable. Why not? Why would you not want that?
Yeah. I think, why not? I think there's a lot of pain out there and a lot of trauma that's existing in our culture, or even, one of our core basic human needs is to be understood or be seen. And so I can see the side of the offense or the anger coming forward because it's hitting that core wound, or it's hitting something around, not feeling understood or seen, which can activate our survival mechanism inside. If we're not really seen, how can we ensure that we're taken care of or protected there? I'm thinking of, over the years of doing sex therapy and being an educator around it, and having had my learning curves and like, being taught back of, using women with an X as the A isn't as inclusive as I thought it would be, or I thought that it was, according to certain sources. And then learning that, even sometimes making mistake where I'm like rushing and I'm just talking really fast and in flow, and I forget to include, forget to say women, femme, and non-binary, or I just, use one or the other, and can activate somebody's internal feeling of exclusion or not feeling that I saw them. And I think for any of us who, and as we become more in the as I'm becoming more in the public eye, how important it is to be trauma informed and to hold that space. And at the same time, I make mistakes, as I'm human as too. And so even for those of us who are allies and may not identify as non-binary, when we make mistakes, the importance of not dropping into shame, because shame causes us to become self-absorbed in our own badness. And can we practice holding somebody's hurt, holding somebody's discomfort or anger without shying away from it, or pulling away from it? But like, we're all have a right to feel our emotions, to feel, hurt, or feel pain. And I don't know, maybe you can speak to this, but I think our culture has become very fragile around, or avoiding around, discomfort instead of allowing it to just like be here.
Yes, 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 exactly. Because I even when I hear you say that, I'm like, I don't want any being
Mhm.
ever to feel like they're making mistakes.
Mhm.
This is Earth school. This is this is the point, right? So I'm kind of like, when we get too over serious, I think that's the logical mind. So if we can
Mm,
just come back into presence and being, just being, right?
mhm.
Which is more of the feminine, not the doer, not the da, 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 like the logical mind. I love, talking about science, and I love all that. And whatever happened with like curious minds, just leading with curiosity, which is
Yeah.
the childlike awe and wonder. And you find that these little children are just, oh, okay, interesting. They ask questions and they're not afraid of looking stupid. There are no stupid questions, right? They just ask away, and there's no fear in that.
Mm.
However, I agree with you. We've gotten very oversensitive, and this is just honest. This is why I feel like such a specific call to be speaking more on this, just because I will say, and this is going to be a little bold, there's still more work to be done in some of these communities. And I've taken years of self-development. I'm not trying, this is not hierarchical. It's not about that.
Mhm.
It's just that I have gone to the depths of being, literally, where I have turned into mush in the chrysalis, turning into absolutely nothing, being
Mhm.
so devoted to I guess, how would I even say this? I've just been really focused on my work, right? My I'm not perfect, just like you
Mhm.
said, you're not. We're all trying our
Mhm.
best, but I've been really dedicated to, if you're easily offended, it just points where your core wounding is.
Mm.
And so I just find that there's just, again, there's more work to be done to just recognize that every single set of eyes outside of your own are you. So I'm like, when we get to there, that unity consciousness, recognizing that, we're in that process and it's taking its course. And that's why the polarity is so high. That's why this is coming out now. That's why this is such a big part of the conversation. Non-binary, non-polarized thinking, right? Black or white,
Mhm.
he or
Yeah.
she,
Yeah.
good or evil. I'm like, it just is.
It's a pressure cooker right now. It's like we saw that really explode last year with the lockdown and all the protests, which you and I had gone to here in Los Angeles, and just like it's like the systems can't hold this anymore, and it's breaking, and people are fed up and people are looking for to be seen so that they can survive in this world and feel safe. But I think there's just speaking to the oversensitive, the sensitivity, I won't even say over, but the sensitivity or fragility is a representation of the cultural trauma that really has not been addressed. And right now it's getting activated, it's coming out. And so we've got so much emotion, raw emotion, anger, grief, fear, sadness. And it's just what we've not been taught how to deal with our or how to navigate intense emotions. And like, what
Right.
do we do with big emotion? Usually we got real good at suppressing it. And now it's just all here. So we got to figure out what to do with it.
Lovers, thank you again for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, hit subscribe and head over to eatplaysex.com to connect with me and grab my sexy guides. Because my goal here is to get you to eat, play, and sex better so you can improve your sex life, which will improve every aspect of your life. Until next time, keep it sexy.